We talk about S curves all the time. First decade, first 10%, next decade, next 80%, and then the last decade, the last 10%. And that's any trend, right? And he showed cars. And in 1900, the automobile was 14 years old, right? And only about 10% of people had an automobile. And then there was this inflection point over the next decade where 90% of people had automobiles and the horse's carriage went away. And so turns out Bitcoin is 14 years old.
Mark Yusko, a well-known hedge fund manager, is an enthusiast for Bitcoin and is the founder of Morgan Creek Capital Management. He has provided his top prediction for the year 2023. Yusko anticipates that 2023 will be an eventful year for investors on several fronts, ranging from the price of oil, Bitcoin, and gold to a shift in the monetary policies of central banks. If you want to know Mark Yusko's thoughts about the year 2023, just keep on watching our videos here at Market Empire. In a new interview with Blockwork Macro, Yusko discussed his perspective on the world's largest cryptocurrency, particularly in relation to gold, which is analogous to the digital asset in several ways. Yusko said in the interview that he believes major central banks such as the Federal Reserve in the United States would return to their printing presses in response to the significant slowdown in economic activity. Yusko believes that once this occurs, everything glittery, including gold and Bitcoin, will emerge victorious. Yusko, the cryptocurrency market capitalization leader, forecasts that Bitcoin will have a performance in 2023 that is significantly superior to gold. The well-known manager of a hedge fund believes that an exponential increase in the use of Bitcoin will drive the wild price gains of Bitcoin. Yusko believes that Bitcoin is about to experience the same exponential growth as automobile adoption did in its 14th year because it is also in its 14th year. He compares the coin's adoption to the propagation of automobiles in the 1900s. He adds that the adoption of automobiles grew significantly in its 14th year.
As we kind of talk about what's going to be hot in 2023, but the halving 2020, is important because we're coming up in about 3 months to that period where crypto spring ends, crypto summer begins, and we head toward the next halving in 2024. All that glitters when central banksters print and print gold and orange coin. Again, back to the mining theme, hard assets, buy what is hard, get real, another hashtag of mine. Another one, inflation fading, economies are slowing, liquidity reigns. So pivot is definitely here. Another one, I tweeted something out from Brian Sullivan, who does the really early show, the 5 a.m. show on CNBC. And he said, even if over the next 30 years we get to 120 million EVs on the planet from 15 million today, we should have no decrease in the demand for oil. Because you got to transport all the stuff to make the EVs all around the world. So oil and gas reviled, demand destruction subsides, prices head for skies. So I think there is serious melt-up risk in the oil market. One of my favorites, since I just seated a European long-only manager, heard Europe was dead. No good companies around. Buy what is on sale. So those are a few of mine there's another one. COVID zero gone. China valuations low. Stimulus to flow. That's about the liquidity reigns. And then one more. King dollar dethroned. Hegemony up for grabs. Yuan, then Bitcoin. By 2025, which is not very far from now, there will be 2 billion Gen A's, Gen Alphas, the largest generation ever. 385,000 Gen Alphas born each day. Fully digital native. They'll never use a physical wallet. They'll never set an analog alarm clock. They will never put film in a camera. They will all use crypto. You know, we talk about S curves all the time. You know, first decade, first 10%, next decade, next 80%, and then the last decade, the last 10%. And that's any trend, right? And he showed cars. And in 1900, the automobile was 14 years old, right? And only about 10% of people had an automobile. And then there was this inflection point over the next decade where 90% of people had automobiles and the horse's carriage went away. And so turns out Bitcoin is 14 years old, about the same as the automobile, and probably going to have the same type of adoption. But I just thought that was, you know, when we talk about technological innovation, disruption, you know, it's on the outs right now, right? I mean, poor Kathy, you know, down every single day, right? People are just selling ARK. You know, I joke the ARK has sprung a leak, and everyone thinks innovation's dead. Look, I'm old. I lived through 2001, 2002. This is exactly like exactly what happened in 2001, 2002. Enron defrauded people. Tyco defrauded people. People were like, oh, this, you know, WorldCom, you know, square inch real estate. There'll never be, you know, this internet thing. It's gonna die, and pets.com is stupid, and you guys are all idiots. And, you know, board was like ready to fire us at UNC for investing in this stupid stuff. And then, you know, we had this art technology group thing where, you know, we put in for every $1 we put in, our cost of the stock was 50 cents, and we sold it for $100. We made 200 times our money, turned $100,000 into $20 million for the university. They're like, oh, I like that. Do that.
do more of that. Yeah.
Do more of that. Do more of that.
Yeah.
But then it went to zero. Literally, the stock went to zero. The company, well, but then here's the interesting thing. And this is another chart that I saw this morning that's amazing. If you look at all the comparisons of the bubble that we just lived through to 2000, right? They all look the same, right? NASDAQ went up and then it went down 84%, and, you know, Peloton went up and went down, and Tesla went up and went down, and, you know, everything looks like this bubble chart. But then this guy put the next part of the chart, which is, yeah, then NASDAQ went parabolic. Now it took 20 years, but it went super parabolic, went way higher than the 2000 peak. Now gold,
you know,
I think it's going to have a good year, but it won't have a great year because JP Morgan's going to spoof it, right? They're going to try to keep it down, because if it takes off, that damns the Fed, basically indicts the Fed by saying that you destroyed the money, right? Because gold is money, right? And as gold prices rise, we realize that our money is less valuable. Like if other stuff rises, that can be temporal, you know, like I think real estate, I think that's a temporal thing. And with rising rates, interest rate, I mean, housing prices are going to fall. But gold is the ultimate arbiter of value. And that's why I think Bitcoin will have a better year than gold. Like, you know, Schiff's going to be crying again by the end of the year. But he's always crying. He's always crying.
What are your reactions and impressions of the interview with Mark Yusko? Which, if any, of his forecasts do you believe will come to pass in the year 2023? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel.